Just drop that ass, bitch. It's Open Micers in the house. Pop that pussy with that Open Micers logo in your mouth. Jason with his bald ass head. Jacob looking in red. It's Open Micers, bitch. Heard what I said. Drop that ass. Open Micers in the house. Drop that ass, pop that pussy. Open Micers in the house. Open Micers in the house. Open Micers is a mouse. Drop that ass, pop that pussy. Open Micers in the house. The mic is now open.
The mic is now open. My name is Jason Robbins.
I'm Jacob Craig. I think that's probably the best reaction we've ever gotten to the worst.
If you're not watching this on video on YouTube, we just had our first twerk during the theme song. So that was epic.
Yeah, that's definitely breaking down barriers, dude. Shout out to Touch Biloxi right here on the Gulf Coast for giving us that banger of a horrible podcast theme song. I should introduce our guest, though, so we could just jump right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, Christmas came early. You know her from her festival appearances, her club appearances, Altercation Fest, among other things. You know her from coming to the stage on Pluto TV, and you know her from her book, You Ain't Nothing But a Bitch with a Wig On. It is the one and only Shanna Christmas. How you doing?
Woohoo!
Hi, it's Shanna.
Shanna Christmas.
How did you get that? Dude, we just had this conversation right before we started.
Here's the thing. So before we started recording, she corrected Jason on her name, and he was like, yes, please do that because we will 100% say your name wrong. And then, of course, I do the intros. And after hearing it, I immediately just lost that information. It was like, oh, she corrected it this way. This is obviously the right way.
It's okay. It happens all the time. And I always say it's because it's spelled white and people have a hard time. You know who doesn't say it wrong? Latino people. So maybe it's just, you guys don't put enough seasoning on the words or something.
Right. I need to put a little Tony Satcheries on the pronunciation.
See, I had a bit of an excuse, though. I worked with a girl who pronounced it Shanna. So that's why I immediately pronounced it Shanna. But it's Shanna. Shanna Christmas. Yeah. Get it right.
We do get mixed up. The Shannas, the Shannas. I get a Shana. I get a Shannon. It just depends. Sometimes I get Sharon, and I'm like, what are you talking about? So it just depends.
So, Jacob, just get yourself correct, man. Just
okay. I mean,
work it
I
out
thought...
over there.
I booked Shanna Hanukkah for the podcast. I don't know who this is that showed up, dude.
This is a DEI version. So sorry.
But I will say, in my defense, I'm used to having to study. We had a string of Louisiana comedians on. And so I had to spend time studying how to pronounce the string of vowels and X's that they call a last name. So people's first names never even occur to me to try to pronounce them. It's like Christmas, perfect. I can say Christmas.
You can say Christmas, and I get called that sometimes by people because I think they forget how to say my name too. So it's like, "What's up, Christmas?" I'm like, "Hello." Right. It's fine.
How did that start, by the way? Because that's got to be a stage last name, right? Christmas.
It is. It's. I was born on Christmas, so.
Oh. How is it terrible? Is it terrible to have a birthday on Christmas because you only get one present? So.
You get the whole I gave you a present on. I don't even know. It's horrible. Yeah. I don't get a birthday party. No one's in town. I can't really travel because I have to be home with my family. It's just not, it's not great, which is why I use it as a stage name to get attention. So,
do you think it's better or worse than being born on New Year's? Because I have a nephew who was born on New Year's Day. So it's you just had Christmas and then your birthday is 5 days later and everyone just got you a Christmas present. So he just gets clearance Christmas toys or if he gets anything.
I think when he gets older, I wouldn't mind having a New Year's birthday because at least people come out and have a party. You get a countdown to your birthday. There's people around, there's stuff to do, things are popping. Christmas, it's literally just no one's doing anything. So I wouldn't mind having that because I wouldn't care about the gifts. I'll take a discount Christmas gift. I love, Valentine's Day gifts after the 14th. They're on sale. We love a November 1st Halloween candy bag. You know what I mean? As long as I get something, I don't really mind. So, and I think anybody born in December and January, they all get the same lumped in. We give you your presents on Christmas. And you're like, but I'm born on January 10th. Yeah, but we already did that. So I don't think it really matters too much if it's a holiday or not. If it's close enough, I think people just kind of get screwed over.
Yeah, because I got little young family members and stuff, and then like friends that have kids that are born from November to January, and I just I'm like, you're just getting one present. You're not getting multiple presents because you decided to be born that close to Christmas. That's your problem.
I used to have this joke where I would talk about my birthday and I would say my dad would give me a left shoe for Christmas and a right shoe for my birthday. And everybody would be like, oh, I'm like, he sucks, actually. So, but that never actually happened. He didn't give me any presents.
Oh,
so actually made him look better for the effort.
If only the audience knew the truth, they would be traumatized.
Right.
that has to be probably my favorite part of holidays, though, is like going in like the day afterwards and just cleaning up on the clearance aisle, like all that discount candy and everything. Like, especially on Christmas, you get like a little bit of Christmas money from your grandma and you can just go buy like mountains of discount candy.
That's the first thing you should do. It's just waste it on garbage. Mm-hmm.
Dude, I found the secret a couple of years ago after Christmas. I went to Walmart when they had all the Christmas gift packages on clearance. So I went and just loaded up like 3 years worth of the you know, 'cause like the you'll get like underarm deodorant and like, you know, shave stuff and everything, and it's like it's all in one gift pack. So I bought a ton of gift packs and I'm still working on them, and that was like 3 years ago.
Hell yeah. That's smart. You're buying out of season, so it's cheaper.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I'm always that big dumb bitch that like as soon as they start putting swim trunks and stuff out, I'm like, oh yeah, I need swim trunks because it's time for that now. And you pay like $30 for a pair of swim trunks that you could get for like $5 in winter.
Yeah, you got to wait until right after Labor Day. Then you're like, hey, these are on sale. Just save them. That's the problem. That I buy stuff and I want to wear it or do it right then. I can't save anything. So I get the reason why you're like, oh, I forgot about that. I got to buy it right now because otherwise I can't go to the lake or whatever you guys do out there.
Yeah, you'd be a horrible drug addict.
Yeah, I don't really partake. I'm late to the game too. I think I started doing drugs at like 35 or something. So
hey, it's never too late to start. All right.
Yeah, but most of my peers have already done it. So they're like, what are you doing? I'm like, you want to try Molly? They're like, no, I've already done that.
See, I'm going to wait till I'm like 65, and then I'm just going to start doing every drug known to man. And just like,
on top of the ones that are from your doctor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you get all the good stuff when you're getting older. They'll just give you anything. Like my mom goes to the doctor. She's like, my pinky hurts. And he's like, oh, here's some opiates. You know, take whatever you want.
Hell yeah. I love that. Let's do that.
Yeah, let's all start just like, you know, once we hit in our 60s, let's just all start doing all the drugs. Like, why not?
We're going to have the most fun nursing homes ever if they still exist by the time we get old.
Oh, we'll still be working. There's not going to be any nursing. Right? I'm going to keel over as, you know, cleaning the bathroom at Walmart when I'm like 80.
Yeah. That's our future.
Dude,
well, this was fun.
Yeah, great podcast, guys. And as if it wasn't bad enough, like at my work, they just raised the age limit and the years of service for your retirement by 5 years, just to make sure. So like you have to be either 70 years old or have worked there for 30 years to be able to retire.
So if you start working there at like 50, then you have to stop at 80.
Yeah, pretty much. Which I mean, I think that is a loophole. Like if you start at 50, you could probably still get out at 70 just because they're like, get out of here, you silly you.
I don't know, man. When I was a kid, most of my teachers were about 80 that I can remember.
It's hard to get out.
They loved teaching, Jason. They loved seeing your little snot noses every day and
I doubt
being
that.
a good person. I know.
Well, also
they don't get paid enough though.
Also, too, you know, I was in elementary school and stuff like back in the 80s. So, you know, this is back in the day, and people looked older back then too. Like you could be 48 years old and look like you're like 90.
Yeah, if you see a picture of like Martin Luther King, you're like, he died at 30?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I thought that dude was like 65. No, he was like 35 I saw this thing the other day, and somebody sent me. It was like people in the past that are older that looked older than we are now, back like in the 90s, like the Golden Girls, like they were like in their late 40s, early 50s on that TV show, like back then. It's like, oh my God.
It's bad. And you guys are white, so it was probably way worse. You know,
Oh, I'm going to crack here soon.
Yeah,
you got to moisturize, Jason.
We spoiled, dude. If we stay out in the heat too long, we rot.
I know, which is why I'm so confused as to why they let you guys run things. You shouldn't even be in charge.
Yeah, but we also live down here. We live on the Gulf Coast, so it's like we stay moisturized. There's no such thing.
Yeah, it's in the air.
That's true. It is very thick air, so you don't really have to put on lotion, luckily. But if you came to Vegas for a couple of days.
Oh my God. I think if I went to Vegas, I would probably dry out like you ever see those? Do you see that? I see that weird video of that fish that was all like dried out on the beach, and it was all nasty and gross and dried out, and then that dude poured a little water on it, and it started to come back to life.
No.
You have not seen that video?
That's AI. I don't believe it.
Oh, it was not AI. That was real.
Fish aren't even real, dude.
Right.
I don't
believe in fish.
It's birds, fish. That's just like the government spying on you, the robots. So
yeah, dude. So the birds are like U.S. intelligence. The fish are like Russian intelligence.
There we go.
Down
the rabbit hole we go.
What information are they getting under the water? Like they can't see anything.
Yeah, well, that's why they don't have anything on us, Jason.
Sonar.
I didn't say it was good spy technology.
What if roaches aren't real? What if like cockroaches are little tiny robots that are spying?
Bro, this is the most Joe Rogan-ish podcast portion I've ever been a part of.
You guys, AI is serious.
I'm like, what are we doing? No.
All right,
we were just talking. Yeah. We were talking about that before you joined, that I tried listening to his episode he just released with Billy Carson. I think that's that guy's name. He's an aerospace CEO or some shit like that. But his thing is that he has this organization that's like alternate fact media or something like that, where he's just constantly spouting like, we were genetically engineered by the new gods from monkeys to mine gold. And like I put it on to go to sleep to. I had to turn it off and turn on a different podcast to go to sleep.
Why don't you put on some affirmations, Jacob? Just put on some like sounds of nature. Why are you putting on podcasts to go to bed to anyway?
Well, I mean, it's pretty good for the most part, because some of those people have like really soothing voices. Like Joe Rogan, when he's not saying dumb shit, I can go to sleep to his voice.
No, there's people that get an insight timer. Get the insight timer app. You can filter it out. Meditation, sleep meditation, male voices, background music. There's people out there being nice and calm with wind chimes and ocean sounds, telling you you're beautiful before you go to bed. No Joe Rogan. Come on, don't do this.
Yeah, there's no way in hell I could go to sleep listening to Joe Rogan.
Right.
There's no way.
I want to absorb the information into my brain while I'm sleeping so that I can learn about Enochs of the past.
It's wrong information. You're going to be outside fighting a civil war against nobody.
Dude, I'm going to kill gravity.
I'm going to go outside all armed for no reason because you've been listening to the wrong person.
I'm going to drop kick inertia. And then what is the left going to do about it? What is the left going to do when I drop kick inertia?
You know what? As long as you film it, I don't care. You know what? Just put it on tape. Do whatever you got to do, man. At this point, go ahead.
How does that podcast, which rightfully it should, but how does that podcast have like 8.6 million views? Like, how did that many people get through it?
Well, they don't have girlfriends.
Oh, yeah. I was short-sighted there. Yeah.
I have a theory.
I was too busy getting pussy to fucking listen to
Terrence Howard.
I mean, I have a theory. Just there's a lot of stupid people in the world. That's
and we're two of them. But
I blame George W. Bush for No Child Left Behind. And you should have left some of them behind to give them a couple more.
Yeah.
Do you know what you're reading, or are you just reading the word? Do you know what that word means when you read it? Okay, you gotta sit back one more time. It's okay.
Maybe those people shouldn't have been given the gift of reading.
No, they should have been. Well, the gift to me, they just gave it to them. They didn't actually know how to read.
Right.
That's the problem.
It's like when you go into the woods. It's like if you just gave like a chimpanzee in an enclosure a fucking rifle. It was just like, go be on your own. Learn all of the things.
This is terrible.
You know, that whole no child left behind thing. You're like, look, you know, I feel bad for the kids that aren't that bright, but then again, like, we need people to flip the burgers. We need people to clean the toilets. I mean,
You know who's flipping burgers now? Like
thing.
people who have degrees that they can't find a job in their field because AI is replacing them. That's who's flipping burgers now. Grown ass people.
Yeah.
That's not a stupid job. It's just very hot. And you can work at In-N-Out Burger and make $20 an hour. So
for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
dude.
almost thought about it. So
I need to move to where there's an In-N-Out Burger.
Oh God.
I could move my whole family there for $20 an hour.
Damn. That's balling out there.
Yeah, I know. That's balling here at least. Probably not where there are In-N-Out burgers, but like if I made $20 an hour down here, we'd be eating good.
Hell yeah. You should go on strike.
Yeah, we should go on strike. I'm an assistant teacher. We should go on strike. They couldn't do that job without us.
It's true. You should protest. I'm supporting you.
Yeah, this is true. They let him around children, special needs children.
Yeah, special needs children. I can speak to them. I understand them.
Hell yeah. Superpowers.
Yeah, dude, it's like telepathic mostly. We understand each other. It's mostly body language.
Vibes.
Yeah, it's all vibes. That's all it is. It's really, sometimes there are some really bad vibes, but sometimes it's vibes. I will say, like, when I first graduated college, I got an associate's degree. And I was one of those people where, like, in school, everyone was always like, oh, you're so good at school. You're so smart. So, like, I never had to even, like, study for anything until I graduated high school. I was like, oh, school and learning's easy. And I got my associate's degree and flunked out of university. Mm-hmm. So all I had was an associate of arts. I had no skills to learn anything because I never had to. And I'm working at Pizza Hut making minimum wage with an associate's degree because there's no one else that will hire me.
Hey, see?
Like that's like every Gen Z's person, like Gen Z and millennial, like that's the reality right now.
Yeah, Jason, you don't know about the struggle because
yeah, boomer.
Hey, I know about the struggle. You know what it's like. It's always been this way too, where you go and fill out a job, or you look at a job that you want to go for that you're qualified for, or maybe you got a degree in whatever, and it says, you know, it's an entry level position, but they want like 4 years of experience. Like, how does that work?
It's been like that for years with job applications. Like, how do I get experience if you won't hire me? This is a cycle of hell. You guys suck. And then you just hire somebody internally or somebody's family member, and you're like, what was the point of this?
Dude, I've tried pulling that card recently because my brother works for NASA. So I was trying to get out with him because they were hiring entry-level work for people to just type some shit into a 3D printer and just 3D print shit all day. So I was like, yo, dude, like put my resume on top of this guy's desk. And he did it. And that didn't even help. Like, that doesn't even help anymore. He's like, yeah, I get that guy's your brother, but he's not former military, so we're not going to hire him.
Yeah, he can speak with weird kids through just telepathy. So we don't want him having this access to space stuff.
He might accidentally send a wrong vibe to one of our machines.
There you go.
Speaking of NASA, they just sent up a couple of astronauts on the new spaceship made by Boeing, and it's already been the launch already got scrubbed a couple of times because of like loose bolts and shit. Now I will ask you this question, Shanna. If you spent all your time wanting to be an astronaut and you had to go through all the training and everything, and with everything going on with Boeing right now, would you get the fuck on that rocket or would you get the fuck right off of it?
Well, the problem is that's the only option that they have. I don't know if Airbus is making things, and the Starlink thing, that thing exploded recently too. So it's like, if you're going to go edge yourself into space, you might as well try it with Boeing. Your options are limited, you know?
The new space
shuttle. Your whole life, you just... What are you not gonna go? I don't know what I would do. I don't know. That's a tough question.
I'm just
actually.
waiting to see the first the passenger airliners to the space station, brought to you by Spirit Airlines.
Ooh, that might actually work.
I
You got
don't
to
know
bring
if
your
I'm
own
getting
suit.
on that. I don't know if I could do it. If I spent all my time being an astronaut and that thing got scrubbed numerous times, I don't know if I could do it. I don't think I would be brave enough to get on that thing.
Yeah, and now there's more black people going to space too, so I would be more paranoid for myself. Like, nah, y'all fucking up now. I don't know if I want to go. But then what else do you do?
Well, it's like, why do people want to be astronauts anymore? Like after watching, what was that rocket, the Challenger, that
The
like
very
everyone
first one
watched
that went
just
up, yeah.
blow up right in front of everybody?
Yeah.
Like, why would you want to be an astronaut after watching that on live TV?
Yeah, I'm not even sure like what are they doing when they go up there? Like what is the purpose? Because they're not getting out the car and like checking shit out. They're just going up there.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question. Why are they going up there anymore? Just to
I don't
dodge
know.
space junk. Pretty soon, no one's going to be able to go up there because there's just so much shit in space.
Oh,
Like,
I'm
we're
sick
just
of
going to hit it.
this. I'm so sick of this place and that place. We're doomed. Just end it already.
Yeah.
Who is that comedian that had that joke that was like, imagine aliens coming to Earth and they like see all the trash outside of it and they like roll their windows up and just drive
Oh, I don't know.
past it.
They're already here. They know what's up. They're like, you guys are gross.
Dude,
Yeah,
We're never gonna come abduct anybody. You guys
we
fucking
checked it out in the
suck.
60s, didn't like what we saw. We're out of here.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that we're just a prison colony. We're the Milky Way's prison colony. We're just basically the
Yeah.
Australia of the Milky Way.
Dude, I'm a firm believer that we were genetically engineered by the Enochs to mine gold.
Now, before we get any more dumb, Shauna, please regale us with a story about your very first time doing stand-up.
Um, First time doing stand up, I went to the Sapphire Strip Club in Las Vegas.
Hell yeah.
They had a open mic on Thursdays in the showroom, which is separate from the dancing girls.
Oh, man.
I was going to
Sapphire
ask
is
if you
one
had
of
to
the
strip while
largest
you were
strip clubs.
doing.
It's the largest strip club in the world, I think. Sapphire is.
Ooh.
They have like an Olympic-sized pool in the back. They have like a Michelin star restaurant next door. They have a
Really?
showroom and they have a main room with the strippers. It's actually pretty crazy. So I was like, let me go do comedy in there, I guess, because I didn't know where else to go. Really, I didn't really find a lot of places to go. And so it was a Thursday night, went into the showroom, signed up. It was 3-minute mic. I had some ideas because I work a healthcare job. So I was like, I'll just talk about my patients. That'll be funny. And then I was up there talking. I think maybe halfway through my 3-minute set, I had this like thought in my head, I'm supposed to be up here. And then I killed. I was funny for a long time before I bombed, by the way. And so, unlike the rest of you losers, started out great. But yeah, it was fun. People were like so impressed by me, as they still are. But yeah, it was a fun experience for me, really. But Vegas is kind of a weird spot because there's not really a lot of stuff going on. I mean, there is stuff now, but that was 10 years ago when I first started. But that's where it was. Sapphire Gentlemen's Club.
See, I would think that Las Vegas would have a bigger stand-up community, especially just being kind of like the entertainment capital of, the world or whatever. It just doesn't seem to have one.
The problem with Vegas is that the Strip is competing with Cirque and Usher and Gordon Ramsay and so when they're booking comedians to work the Strip, they're not booking some local person that's doing dick jokes at the bar. And there also isn't like an effort to reach out to local comics. No one's like coming to our shows to see who wants to come host, or like there's no like outreach program, or like when the Laugh Factory is open, like they weren't booking local people to at least MC the shows. Like that just wasn't a thing. So they always fly in their talent because they have bigger names or whatever. But also Vegas is like a cruise ship on land. So, the material kind of has to fit whoever isn't too drunk to come to a show, or who isn't 21, or who isn't going to dinner or going to a buffet, or you know what I mean? So it's an interesting scene, but there's not a lot. For me, there's a lot of like local stuff, but it's once you do it all, you're like, I don't want to keep doing this stuff. And then you want to go do other things and they don't want you. So it's a weird scene because it's not like you can really get good there.
Yeah, it sounds eerily similar to the scene on the Gulf Coast here because we have, casinos down here in Biloxi or whatever, and it's like there's not a lot going on locally. If you even get good in the area, it's not like you can go to the casinos and go, "Hey, can I open for like someone at the casinos?" They say,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, no, they'll bring their own talent or whatever."
Mhm.
And Theo Vaughn, the last time he came to the Beau Rivage here, asked for two local openers. So the casinos went and found two local openers and got two comedians from New Orleans to come and open for him. They didn't get anyone in Mississippi at all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
whack.
it must be a casino thing. They must just be kind of like so finger off the pulse almost.
I don't know. I also think that like I don't know. I just feel like the strip in general is just a very different animal. And even the Comedy Cellar, they book from New York. So like you have to be passed by the New York people. Then they send you in from LA and New York, but they don't really have a local Vegas person that does that club. They might have a few more now, but
Hmm.
they've been doing comedy for like 25 years and they do cruises and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit different.
I
So
I completely forgot there was
mm,
even a comedy cellar in Las Vegas, to be honest.
yeah, there's a Comedy Cellar, there's Jimmy Kimmel's, there's Brad Garrett's, and there's a LA Comedy Club at the Stratosphere. That seems to be the place that books the most locals. Can you hear that dog?
We
Yeah,
can,
but
but
it's
it's fine.
okay.
Okay. The
Yeah,
owners are
I'm sure
here, so
everyone
now
can hear the
she's
traffic
screaming.
behind me.
Okay, great. She's screaming like she's dying. Sorry.
That's
So
okay.
sorry.
I'm sure everyone else listening to this podcast is also screaming like they die.
They'll be like, let her out. No,
Go
she's
off.
bad. She jumps on the couches when no one's home. She's not supposed to be on the couch. Okay?
Yeah, that's bad dog behavior right there.
Yeah.
That's classic bad dog behavior.
Yeah.
No, I mean we've heard we had Sam Talent on the podcast and he did a pretty long stint in Vegas and he talked a little bit about how like you can get up in Vegas. He said pretty regularly, multiple times a week, but it's like the quality of the spots that you're doing, it's almost not worth it to go up because like yes you're getting stage time but you're not getting quality stage time where anyone's actually listening to you and you can work on jokes like you're just literally standing on the stage.
I met Sam when he moved to Vegas and we did a few shows together. And I mean, I hate to be like the race person, but I am the race person. And Vegas definitely has a black lady problem. They don't book us in most shows. And so, like even the big clubs, I'm like, I haven't seen them book any black ladies. I think Laugh Factory just booked Jackie Fabulous, but then Laugh Factory's closed now. So that's fun. Um, the LA Comedy Club. Here's my thing too. Like you guys don't know this about me, but I do have beef with Vegas because if you know my history offline, I don't really like the scene very much because people suck there. And so when I talk about Vegas, sometimes it's very much like this place sucks. It might be better now, but when I'm there, I'm like, same kind of glorified open mic with a paid feature kind of deal.
Mm.
It's not a lot of like steady shows that happen. There's not like a show you can do every day of the week there, I don't think. So he's right. If you do get on stage at the clubs, maybe like the audiences are not really paying attention to you. It's not really quality stage time if you can't get up. So
Yeah, it doesn't feel like the Vegas I knew, like from even like back before I was born. When you hear about stories of Vegas back in the like 50s, 60s, 70s, where people could
You
go
weren't
out
born
there.
then, Jason?
Nope. Well, people could go out there and kind of get their start in Vegas. Like a lot of people did start in Vegas, and it just seems like where is the best place to go now? Like if you get started doing comedy wherever you live, and then you want to take that next step and go somewhere where the comedy scene is really popping. I mean, I know Austin is popping off right now, but where would somebody go? Because I know LA's not really it anymore either.
I just came from Austin. I was just there literally like a week ago. And it's essentially like everybody from LA and New York kind of moved to Austin. So it's like popping in a way of like the mothership's very popular, and the rest of the clubs kind of just whatever. It's fine. It's just a lot of white people because you guys just can't not be everywhere all the time.
Hey, I stay put.
I mean, it's just like, I mean, it's fine. I I was literally the only black woman on every show that I did in Austin for a week.
Yeah.
And I think there was one show where I was like, one show had like three women on it, and we were all like, "Whoa!" We were all excited that we were all on the same show because it was like so rare. You know what I mean? So it's a newer scene. There's a lot going on, but I think it's kind of like people who were popular in other scenes just kind of moved there, and now they have their own like little silos. So it's a little bit more cliquey, kind of, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was fine. Like I wouldn't want to live there, and I was like, this is cool, but I didn't feel like it was popping as people say it is. It's more like if you're like a fan, it's popping because you get to see all the people that you watch podcasts and stuff like that. But as a comedian, it's like, all right. But that's just my opinion. I'm not a white male. Maybe it's better for y'all. Y'all go.
Well, my theory on it, like having never visited personally myself, I know people that live there, and I like to keep my finger on the pulse of whatever comedy scene is happening.
Sure.
You know, it's like it seems like every open micer that starts after maybe a year or so tries to move to Austin or tries to visit Austin and do stuff. And as you know, if you visit any open mic, it's mostly white dudes that are signing up that think they're funny or whatever that are moving in.
It's a thing I heard too when I was there that they were saying that some people moved to Austin and claimed they were from LA because you can just go there and lie because nobody really knows because the scene doesn't really have a system. Like the Comedy Mothership is essentially the Comedy Store with all like the riffraff that left the Comedy Store in LA and they just moved. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, it's a nice club. I'm not hating on it, but it's like the Kill Tony mic is there. It's just like it was at the store. It's like the same kind of thing. But I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't like going to open mics either. I'm not too good for them, but I'm also like too good for them because I don't want to sit through everybody else's like stupid ass jokes because it's infuriating. So I don't like to do those for that reason. And people were asking like, don't you want to go to a mic tonight? I was like, no, if I'm off, I'm just going to go get drunk and have a hot dog at the food truck.
I
you know what I mean? Like I don't.
And I feel like now, especially with like, streaming and the internet and everything, people don't really go out like they used to. So there aren't like little lounges and clubs where just, there's an open mic, 4 or 5 nights a week or a comedy, small comedy clubs. It's like, it's hard to get people to go out and just do stuff nowadays.
I think it's interesting too because there's like this huge gap because of COVID where people did blow up on social media and they have a whole new set of fans who've never actually gone to a comedy show before and they don't know what that looks like when they go. So they think they're supposed to talk to you or they're expecting you to do crowd work. And I'm like, when I first started comedy, if you did crowd work, they were like, that dude's not funny because he doesn't have any jokes. He's letting the crowd write jokes for him. But now people are doing crowd work specials. So I think, and also people are broke. Let's just put it out there. Motherfuckers don't have no money, so they didn't want to come out. So you're finding a sitter, or if you're in a big city, you have to pay for parking. Like all that stuff adds up. And 2 drink minimums. The problem at the clubs too is that the tickets are $25 and I got to buy 2 drinks and I'm not going to go. So people do go to see their favorite people, but they're not going to just go to some random like showcase show with people we don't know and for a night out. I think it's a little bit more challenging now for people to go to clubs and to shows in general. I do think that some of the underground rooms are still kind of going because people have always kind of flocked to these like interesting looking spaces and, kind of grassroots rooms where you get paid. Wow. You get paid well to do it. And they have a devoted audience and that kind of stuff still exists. But I think comedy clubs in general are kind of dying off in some places because it costs too much to go there. You know what I mean? So people are going to see specific people they already know, but not just a random Wednesday night. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, that kind of explains the exclusivity of Comedy Mothership, too, because, something I've heard a lot is that, like, Comedy Mothership, you can't go there and hang out.
No.
Like, if you're not, and, like, if you're not a guy, like, if you're not, like, a Shane Gillis or a headliner or someone like that, you're not going to the green room, you're not going there to hang it out. Like, Even if you're opening for somebody, you're doing your spot, you're moving on. And if you're just a comic who's rolling through, who might have a few credits, a few appearances on things, maybe you're good enough to do the Comedy Mothership. Well, who are you going to talk to about doing that? Because Adam Egget doesn't give a flying fuck about you.
Right. I don't
So
even
he's
think
not
that
going to
that's
book you.
process. I mean, I know Sam. I went to his show when he was in Austin. I was like, I want to come check out your show. And he was like, I got you on the list. And so it wasn't like, I'm going to help you get a guest spot. Even Rebecca Trent, who owns the Creek of the Cave, was like, I'm going to talk to Adam and try to get you a spot. Like, even people who own other clubs, that does not matter. So, but also there might be racism. Anyways, my whole point, whatever. Comedy Mothership is kind of interesting because you can't go hang out. There's a bar next door to it that's free to hang out at, but I don't think any of the comics come through there. Like the show I went to go see was Sam Talent, Ron White, Shane Gillis, and RE something, and some redheaded girl, I forget her name. But like none of them came out after the show and like hung out at the bar. Like that wasn't a thing because their fans can be a little bit crazy. I wouldn't want to go hang out and run into those people myself either, because it's kind of like a fanatic culty kind of feel. So even if you were to go and like hang out, it doesn't help you talk to anybody. I think there's a definite like system in place. I don't know what that system is. The club is cute, but it wasn't like I need to be in here either. So
I've been following the Ty Rivera drama there a little bit because me and Jason met Ty. Jason actually opened for him. So I've just been kind of watching his stuff on YouTube. What he alleges is that like if you're not fucking Adam, you're not getting a spot if you're a female, which take that with a grain of salt because Ty Rivera is also completely off his fucking rocker. Like, so I don't know how many unreliable narrators are in this situation, but what has been alleged is like, if you're not fucking Adam, you're not getting a spot.
And that's the thing too, because I think Adam used to book at the Comedy Store, and I feel like people were having those same complaints. I used to never hang out at the Comedy Store because I didn't like the vibe there. It felt very much like frat boy house and like it just felt unloved. And I think that was like the culture of that place. It was just kind of like a boys club and like whatever. And so I never felt like people say, hang out at the store. I'm like, I don't like going over there. It just feels weird. And that whole vibe kind of went away over there. And I don't know Adam. I don't like Ty. He's a messy bitch. And so whatever he's doing or saying, it's always messy. I don't put it past anybody though, to be honest. Whatever he's saying, I don't know. I don't know them people.
Yeah.
It surprises me anymore though. I'm never surprised now when something comes out like that.
I'm kind of enamored by him because I'm like, how can you be right about all of these things and kind of exposing it, but also like exposing yourself as a horrible person in the process? Like how can you do both at the same time of being like, I'm a horrible problem person and also this situation is shitty?
Yeah, I mean, he's been horrible forever. So I don't know. Comedy sucks. We shouldn't do it anymore.
Yeah, we should all honestly quit comedy. We should all quit right now. Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Why are we trying to do this? Like I can understand why Shanna would keep doing it because like you've gotten to a level now where you've got some skin in the game. Like you're getting somewhere with it. Me and Jason should just quit, dude. Like, what are we doing?
You know how many white guys with beards and bald heads are out there doing comedy right now? I got nothing. I got to compete against that. That's
Jason, don't go to Austin, dude, because I saw you walking around.
You were everywhere, bro.
I thought you were so many people. I was like, John, and your name, all J names, by the way. What is that? Know.
And the first time I met, for the first like year and a half, 2 years, I knew Jacob. He called me, what did you call me? The poor man's Joe Rogan?
Yes, I did. Yes, I called you the poor man's Joe Rogan.
Joe, John, Jason, Jane. I mean, it's Jeff. It's just
we had a guest on
white bald man names out there.
We had a guest on the other week named John Jacobs.
Okay.
The whitest man you'll ever meet.
Oh yeah, you think? I'm sure he's very nice.
He's very nice. He's a very good guy. I love John. Man, I can't believe we got on all of that just from the one question of your first open mic experience.
Yeah,
that went places.
Vegas sucks.
So when you're starting comedy, though, I mean, you mentioned that like just even being a black woman, it's kind of like you don't have a lot of peers, I should say, or a lot of people that look like you trying to do comedy in that, especially in that area. Being a 6'3" black woman, when you start comedy, do you immediately like grab people's attention, or did you still have to kind of work for it a little bit?
No, no. As soon as I leave my house, somebody's paying attention to me, comedy or otherwise. It's cannot be avoided. Um, my problem with comedy when I first started is because I am so tall, I would try to make myself a little bit smaller because all the gatekeepers and bookers were little white dudes. And so I worked to not intimidate them by speaking to them
Right.
because,
They might like it though. They might be into that.
or no, or they're scared.
Might
They're
be into
they,
being scared.
I've walked up on people sometimes. When I was in Austin, I had a show. I walked into the venue. I'm looking for the person who's running it. He's like, do you guys have tickets? And I was like, I'm on the show. He goes, oh, okay. I'm like, are you running it? And he's like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And he was like, you're kind of aggressive. And I went,
Okay.
I literally just asked if you were running it. You would think if I said I'm on the show, you say, oh, hi, my name is so-and-so. But it was like,
right.
you asking me that question and the way you asked it made me feel like you were being aggressive towards me. I literally walked away like, wow, let me go to the bar because what do I do with that? And so when I first started, I had very low self-esteem. So I was a big person and scary, but not trying to be scary. But now I know that I'm a shit. And so I'm like really trying to tamp down on it because I walk up on you and just like say stuff and I don't care if you feel intimidated. But then I forget that sometimes people get really scared. And I think the height really, it's a dance. It's hard. I have my titties out more now. Like, oh, look, I'm a girl. I'm fragile. Don't be scared of me. Like,
Jacob too.
Yeah, I got my tits out all the time, dude.
It is so I get the attention sometimes. I mean, when I first started, people thought I was like a fan, and I'm like, no, I'm your peer now, so I'm here to talk about comedy,
Right.
not how cute you think I am. So it's weird. It's a hit or miss sometimes, but it definitely does make it hard to get spots because I have to like meet people at a distance so they can feel like they're not being walked up on and like bullied into giving me things.
Right. I mean, just thinking of myself as like a hardcore comedy fan, which I would pretty much consider myself. Um, I would think that like seeing someone like you on a lineup that's probably mostly white dudes or white women or the token woman or something like that. Like I feel like I would want to listen to you more because you don't see a lot of people like that in comedy.
Yeah. You should open a comedy club.
I should open a comedy club. Someone give me $20,000.
That was the thing too. I think after the pandemic happened, there was this reset. Everything went back to like, oh, we gotta get our money back, and who gets the most money? White dudes. We gotta put the white dudes back in the clubs because diversity is not gonna get us any money. And so it's even less of us that I'm seeing. I mean, in New York, there's a lot of us there because it's a very diverse place. LA, there's a few of us, but they do a lot of comedy there. Those people are actors or whatever. It's kind of spread out. It's Atlanta. Did I see any black girls when I was in Atlanta? Shit. I did a whole festival and didn't see none. Oh my gosh. So like I think it depends. I think it also depends on the kind of rooms that you perform in. Um, I would consider myself to be more of a mainstream comedian, and I know you guys are white people and you don't have to think about that kind of thing where you're like, are you a BET comedian or a Comic View comedian? Are you a Def Comedy Jam
Right.
comedian? Are you a, and so like, I don't really do certain black rooms that are like, what I don't do church, you know what I mean? Like, so it's a little bit more of a challenge when I go places. If I am the only black girl in the lineup, it's because I'm with a bunch of white people as opposed to me being one of many black women in an all black room with an all black show all the time. You know what I mean? So
Right.
there are some of us out there, but the rooms that I'm able to get into, I get to have more opportunities if I leave that circle of the rooms, if that makes sense. So there's probably more that I'm not seeing, but I'm not seeing them because they're over there.
That's interesting. That's something I don't think we've ever talked about before, because that adds just a completely new wrinkle to, starting comedy in that process of like, not only do you have to find yourself, what comedy voice you're going to have, how are you going to be unique, but also you have to sort of subject yourself to this landscape of being like, am I going to do these Def Comedy Jam type rooms, or am I gonna, go be the token black female on this, showcase this place or whatever?
Yeah, and I've done all the rooms like that. I just think that um do you guys know Baron Vaughn?
Yeah.
Baron Vaughn is one of my good friends. I told him he's the reason why I started comedy, because I saw him on a special called The Awkward Comedy Show, and it featured 4 black stand-ups that were not your stereotypical black comedian. Either
Yeah.
you had Baron and Eric Andre, Hannibal, Marina Franklin, all these black people, but they weren't, you know what I mean? So I was like, oh, I get to see people who look like me and talk like me and have the same kind of weird, awkward thing about them, and they're still doing comedy, and people are still laughing. But I don't know if those same people would be welcomed in the other kind of room. I've done those rooms, and it's sometimes hit or miss depending on who's in there. And sometimes you have to find your audience, because it's more challenging for me to find my audience than some people who just do predominantly black rooms like that, because they're all kind of like on the same, this is what this is. And here I am like, oh, I'm talking about or whatever. And what's this weird tall lady talking about? Oh, you're up there being clever, I see. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. Not on purpose. I mean, I am telling a joke, but
and it's eye-opening.
It is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to say it's just kind of eye-opening to get your perspective on things, because it's not something that, me or Jacob have to think about, because to me it should just be comedy's comedy. It should just be whoever's the funniest rises to the top, and it's not that way at all.
Well, like even Gary Owen. Gary Owen does a lot of black rooms.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he does white rooms too. I've only seen him associated with BET and that kind of stuff. He had a black wife. He does all the like known black stages. Him and like Honest John, like they can get away with it. But I feel like there is a bit of a pander that comes from Gary. Then Bill Burr can kill in a black room and not change who he is. But I don't know if Gary could do a white room doing how he does comedy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's interesting dynamic. Like, so, but there aren't that many. And that's the thing too. Black audiences are very nice to white people. I have to put that caveat. When y'all come in our circles, we're like, oh, you're safe. Ha, ha, ha. You're like, that wasn't funny, but I don't want them to complain. We were mean to them. So like, even when you come to our rooms, we welcome you, and you can eat. Oh, if you can dance. Oh, it's like, but we don't get those same graces, really. Like, white people will laugh, but they'll laugh to themselves. And then after the show, they go, that was really great. You're like, I wish you would have said that when I was up there. But yeah, trying to navigate, it's definitely a challenge.
Right, for sure. I hate that we're coming up on the end of the podcast here, but we've already gone through almost an hour with you. Jason, do you have a good question that we should end on here, or do you want me to take it away?
Are you gonna ask her the question?
I can ask her the question if you want me to ask her the question.
Ooh, what's the question?
I mean, she is a guest on the podcast, so
all right. I mean, this is the penultimate question of our podcast. I've asked this question to people such as Steve Burns, Sam Talent, Sean Patton. So some of the best comedians in the industry right now have been asked this question by me on this podcast. And Shanna, you get to add your name in with all of these people. I want to know when the last time you shit your pants as an adult was.
Shit my pants. I'm actually about to shit my pants right now.
Hell yeah, me too, brother.
Oh my God, do it on camera. This will be the best
well, I already
episode
twerked.
ever.
That was the problem, that I was like so excited about your opening that I got there and like shook some stuff around.
I was gonna say, do it while you're twerking.
Oh God, you would have to put this behind a paywall.
We could. We have a Patreon.
Switch to the Patreon right now.
Put it on Patreon.
We're
You
gonna
have to
get
give me a lot of
7,000
money.
subscribers really quick.
You'd have to give me a lot of money, by the way, and then sign an NDA, and then never air the footage. Shit my pants. I feel like, ooh, I want to say it was recent, but I mean, sometimes I get like really constipated and I'll drink this like poopy tea, and sometimes it just works. It's supposed to like work overnight. You get up in the morning, you poop, and you're good. But sometimes you're like, I'm at a pool party, and you think it's safe to fart, and you're like, no. Jason, you look so mortified.
I want to know I want to know what this poopy tea is, because I'm getting older. You know, sometimes I might need the poopy tea.
Traditional medicinals, smooth move is what it's called.
Ooh, smooth move.
Smooth.
That's pretty good.
That's what I'm gonna have after I drink that tea.
You can't. If you have a day job, don't. You got to drink it on the weekend. Don't do it because you don't know what's going to happen.
See, I have to have a colonoscopy in a couple of months, so I'm interested to see what that stuff's gonna be like that you have to drink. That
they just make you drink a bunch of it'll empty out.
Yeah, they make you drink uranium. I'm pretty sure.
Ooh,
is that what that stuff
is?
That'd
be fun.
Yeah, or lithium or something like that. It's one of the EMs.
That sounds nice.
Yeah, Jason's gonna poison himself.
I don't know.
Anyways, Shada, he interrupted you. Please tell us about the last time you.
That was it. I don't remember it specifically. I feel like, I take some poopy tea once, maybe. I don't remember. You know, you think you're done and then you fart and you go, oop, and then you have to run someplace. But I don't remember a specific day, or it happens quite frequently, I think, because I do like to eat a lot of pizza, so I drink some of that tea quite often.
I'm so glad to hear you say that, because the reason we started asking this question is because Jason is of the camp that no healthy adult should ever shit their pants under any circumstance. And I'm of the camp that sometimes accidents just happen, and sometimes people just shit themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it depends. You could have food poisoning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You just don't know. You could drink the water.
I'll give caveats for that. I mean, I understand if you have food poisoning or like dysentery or something, you know.
And sometimes you don't even have to be sick. Sometimes you just have really bad diarrhea and you're in the wrong place at the wrong time and you shit your pants.
He's trying to make excuses.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually fully shit my pants. Damn. I think I may have sharded and I caught it. I was like, ah! But that might have been a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. So no,
very
Jacob will full on just load his pants up just for no reason.
Happened.
Jesus, Jacob.
It's happened. It's happened before.
Do you have IBS? What's wrong?
Probably. There was one famously. This is going to be put on my headstone when I die at this point, because I've said it on the podcast so many times. There was at one point in my life 3 Tuesdays in a row where I shit my pants on a Tuesday.
Why is it Tuesday? What are you doing Monday night?
I don't know. So 3 Tuesdays in a row. I was hosting an open mic on Tuesday nights, not Monday nights, but Tuesday nights. But it happened at different parts of the day. So one time I shit my pants right before I went to work at my day job. One time I shit my pants right before I got on stage to start the open mic. And I threw my underwear away in the bathroom and told everyone to go look at it, which they did. It killed. Not going to brag about it, but... and then another time I shit the bed.
White people you guys are depraved human beings. There's something wrong. It's one thing to shit your pants and be embarrassed about it, but you told people and then they went to go look. That is a level of...
Jason was there. I riffed on it for 15 minutes.
You didn't have any drawers on.
I know. I riffed without drawers. I riffed the drawers right off.
But did you wipe your butt? Was there...
Yeah. I went and cleaned myself up and I threw away the undies, and luckily I was wearing jeans. So I just went on stage commando, did about 15 minutes about how I just shit my pants. It went pretty well.
This is stressing me out.
Look, just the fact of the matter is that we aren't supposed to even be wearing clothes. We're not supposed to be potty trained, because originally we were just simple beings put here to mine gold by the Enochs. We're not supposed to be able to shit in toilets. We're just supposed to just be mining gold all the time.
No.
See what I have to deal with every single week on this show.
Jacob, maybe you should just move to West Virginia.
You know what? It would be less racist than where I live now. So
Wow.
I might
But
fit
then you
in
can walk
better.
around naked and poop your pants outside and stuff.
And then
not be
mine gold, and they'll be like, look at that good boy, that good Christian boy over there, mine in gold for his
Yikes.
pappy.
Wow.
On
I'm
that
sorry,
note,
Jason.
on that note, Shauna, it was awesome having you on the show. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We got to get you back again.
Of course.
Back again soon. Tell everybody where they can find you on the internet.
I am ShannaChristmas.com, SHANNA, and that's my name on all the platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even though I don't use all of it. Just the same name everywhere. It's very easy stuff.
And if I'm not mistaken, people can buy your book from your website. Is that
They
right?
can, yes, because I'll sign it. Go to my website, get the book, put it in the bag. I'll sign it and send it to you. Yeah, absolutely.
And that link is right here in the show notes. So, Jacob, tell everybody where we're going to be at.
Me money.
So we are booking some more shows for this summer, as I am out now, finally out for the summer for summer vacation from the little special kids. Me and Jason are going to be booking more shows coming up. We are actually going to be at Rally Cap in Baton Rouge on July 18th. We're going to be on the Stoned versus Drunk versus Sober showcase on opposing teams. I will be team drunk. Jason will be team sober. One of us might win and have to come back without the other one. How sad would that be?
Jacob's going to shit his pants.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get drunk and shit my pants. I'm gonna riff on it for 15 minutes, and I'm gonna not win.
Yes.
So that's what we're gonna do. And man, I am busy booking a fun, action-packed July for you guys. So keep your ear to the ground on the Open Micers podcast and get into our Patreon at patreon.com/OM podcast to watch Jason tase me, watch me eat a cheeseburger with 30 slices of cheese on it, watch us eat the Apollo hot sauce, the hottest hot sauce in the world. Watch us do all kinds of stupid shit over there for your depraved entertainment.
Wow.
And I think the worst thing we did was eat that Vegemite. That stuff was nasty. Ugh.
It was bad. Vegemite is horrible.
Oh, what?
Australia's built different.
But
They're built upside down.
Thank you again for coming on the episode. And if you want to email us at openmicerspodcast@gmail.com. Of course, openmicers.com is our website, or you can go to Linktree/OpenMicersPodcast. That takes you everywhere you need to go. All of our socials, all ways to give us money, our Patreon, all that good stuff. And of course, go to brezcoffeeco.com. Use the code OMPodcast for 10% off your order. We love you all, and we'll see you all next week.
Let me mine all your gold.